I want to thank Mary Ann and Mike for having us up this evening. And boy, we couldn't ask for better weather on an August afternoon. So thanks for coming out, and here we go. Well, down the road about a mile or two lived a little girl named Pearly Blue. Not so high, her hair was brown, prettiest thing boys in this town. Now every day and Sunday too, I go to see my Pearly Blue. Before you hear that rooster crow, you'll see me headed down the road. Thanks. Headphones not working? I know, well, I never heard it. We're gonna keep our heads down and play some music and probably talk amongst ourselves a little bit, so just bear with us and enjoy this beautiful evening. Katie Daly. Took her far across the great divide. So come on down the mountain, Katie Daly. Come on down the mountain, Katie, do. Appreciate it. This is something you're going to hear. Oops, something you're going to hear a lot this evening is just us plucking on our instruments, trying to keep them in tune. So, part of the price of admission. Here's an old gospel hymn that's pretty much everyone ever knows. So if you want to sing, you go right ahead. It's called "Will the Circle Be Unbroken?"
Yeah. How about we do that again? Okay. Let's get Joey get tuned up.
Dad took off and Joe's still tuning. Sorry about that.
And I was playing the song we just played. There we go. I got it now. You ready?
I was standing by my window on a cold and cloudy day when I saw that hearse come rolling for to carry my mother away. Well, the circle will be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Undertaker, 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 please drive slow for the body that you are hauling. I hate to see her go. Well, the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Well, I followed close behind him. I tried to hold up, I tried to be brave, but I could not hold back my sorrow when they laid her in that grave. Well, the circle will be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Well, the circle will be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. In the sky, Lord, in the sky. Thanks. I can't get over this weather. We've been asked to play here. I think this is the 4th year in a row. One of the years got rained out. One of the years was like 95 degrees and was so hot I didn't want to be here. And then one of the other ones at like severely thunderstormed right up until 6:30, and we still played, and the weather was fine then, but no one was here because, you know, they just went through something. So I'm gonna keep talking about it like for the next 2 hours how nice it is tonight. So. Prettiest thing. No, Gold Rush. Sorry, Gold Rush. We're gonna do an old bluegrass instrumental here called Gold Rush. Now would be good time to introduce my dad. On the banjo over here on my right and your left with the Earl Scruggs signed banjo. That's my dad. I said that once already. His name's Dave Bean. Thanks. Appreciate it. Get up in the mic and ask.
Say tortoise.
Tortoise!
Does this bass sound okay?
Can you hear the bass all right?
Is it too loud?
Is it too loud, he says.
It can never be too loud.
Not too loud, not too soft, just right. Look at that car back there. Holy cow.
Family.
Is that Corella DeVille? All right, prettiest thing. It was a New Year's Day at a seaside bar. It was a special PBR. The ocean roared outside the door. No one but us and some hardcore drinkers lost in the stormy day. How blue are the blue of your eyes against the sky gray? You Gastonia with your mother, what you still had left is self-respect. Or at least you tried to tell me. That's when I was drinking. I could not find the words to win you back. You remember what we talked about? I just remember your face. Prettiest thing that I've ever seen. I sure understand. Years and miles are not what you deserve. I heard that you got married. He is a decent man, although some say he's a little bit too reserved. You remember what we talked about? I just remember your face. Prettiest thing that I've ever seen. Thanks. No, yes, no, it's an A. Brushy fork. I grew up here. For those of you who don't know me, I probably know most of you out there, but I grew up here in town, about a mile away. Went off to school and had the opportunity to move back in my wife's grandparents' house in the big bustling community of Hookersville, about 15 minutes north of here. We've lived there for the past 7 years, and I love it. I'm so happy to live there. It's beautiful and just far enough out, and I love it. And I wrote a song about it, all of its positives and negatives, and it's called Brushy Fork. Past the city limits sign, there's a place close to me that's hard to find. Little rough around the edges, at the foot of the hill. That place I'm talking is Hookersville. And it smells like a chicken house, something awful. Yeah. Where Brushy Fork starts, it's grand expedition to the Mexican Gulf with little ambition. It's become my home. I've settled down, no more to roam. The sun rises in brushy and it sets in spruce, and me and my family will grow our roots. Thank you. Shout out Hookersville. I've made the assumption, and I'm going to stick to it. That is the only song ever written about the community of Hookersville. And you don't always have to be right, you just have to be convincing, but I'm pretty daggone sure I'm right.
Do we have any Hookersville residents out there anymore?
Yeah, right here.
There was one just left. Downtown just left. Nelson.
All right, we're gonna do another bluegrass instrumental here, which by default features the bluegrass instruments here. On my right, my dad already introduced him, and on my left over here, on the 8-string ukulele, that's my good friend, Mr. Joey Miller. Just kidding, it's a mandolin.
There, Dave. Here we go.
Appreciate it. I'm gonna wet my whistle real quick.
There it is.
This next one is a song by one of my favorite bands. not really a bluegrass band, but kinda adjacent. They're formerly known as a band in Little Orange, now called Watch House. It's called Old Ties and Companions. It's a fun one to play. Oh man, give me endless time, never let these ties sever. It's breaking bottles in the yard, never steal my mind again. Old ties and companions, just sitting on the fence. Tunes we carried through the years will change. Man, that's just enough to keep these ghosts around this haunted field. Old ties and companions, you and I were just passing through. Just holding back tomorrow. Someday I'll hop along and ride it home. Old ties and companions, we never leave alone. Oh man, give me endless time, never let these ties sever. Heaven knows that all this fooling round, these ties will last forever after all. Thanks. Didn't mean to make you cry. This next one's one I wrote. I never got to meet my wife's grandfather. He passed away before I started dating her, but we live in his house now, and he's a real big part of her life. And I guess before he passed away, he said he's gonna come back as a red-tailed hawk, which I think is pretty cool because you don't ever really think about red-tailed hawks until someone tells you something like that, and then you see them everywhere. So this is a song called Red Tail. Red-tailed hawk sitting life's clock. I want my soul to come back as a red-tailed hawk. My loved ones see me in the sky. They'll know I made it to the by and by. Oh, red tail, look out for old red tail. Thanks.
Sorry for the tuning, it's just the weather. At least that's what we're called.
Yeah, that's terrible weather we got.
He's bragging on it and I'm complaining about it.
When I first met her was sunny springtime morn. I loved her like the flowers on the mountain, and it felt like then our love never ended till that cold Virginia night Jenny left me. Was a full moon on a cold Virginia night. When Jenny left me, I could not believe her frostbitten heart would tear my whole world apart. It was a cold Virginia night Jenny left me. Our love changed with the seasons. It got hot like a summer wind. It blew me away into the autumn. And like the leaves that fell, our love shot to hell on that cold Virginia night Jenny left me. Was a full moon on a cold Virginia night. When Jenny left me, I could not believe her frostbitten heart would tear my whole world apart. It was a cold Virginia night Jenny left me. Was a full moon on a cold Virginia night. When Jenny left me, I could not believe her frostbitten heart would tear my whole world apart. It was a cold Virginia night Jenny left me. Her frostbitten heart just tore my whole world apart. It was a cold Virginia night Jenny left me.
I think that's what they said. I didn't know.
It's on there.
Not the one you said.
It was right there. It's the same list.
Why he figuring it out?
I think we have managed to make it 10 whole songs without playing a Steve Earle song, so that's going to come to an end now. And it won't be the last one.
It's gonna be the first one.
It's going to be the first one, called Waiting on the Sky to Fall. I grew up in a military town, waiting on the sky to fall. Everybody I knew hanging around wondered what they'd do when the draft board called. searching for the Holy Grail. Been across the ocean, now I'm back again, searching for the Holy Grail. Been around enough to know a little bit now. I'm sitting on top of the world, banging on the guitar while the sun goes down, singing a song about a red-headed girl. Was the time I would have said those days were gone. Now I'm living in another world. Didn't know that I was gonna live this long. Now I'm sitting on top of the world, sitting on top of the world, y'all, sitting on top of the world. Eyes wide open till the messenger calls. Now I'm sitting on top of the world. I'm gonna dismiss my dad and Joey. As they're getting into their old age, their bladders don't hold up like they used to, and they gotta have them, you know, they gotta go relieve their bladders and their minds. But I'm not gonna let Dwayne go. You wanna come up here? Springtime and Arizona. I can do that. Here's one I wrote about my favorite time of the year, which is the whole entire month of May, the last 2 weeks of April, the first 2 weeks of June. You can't convince me it's not the best time of the year. It's one called Springtime. The songs of springtime get me through the winter. First breath of life in a world of gray. July nights get me through April showers. I continue to wish my life away. Caught up in the trance of this repetition. I'm always searching for that next big thing. Life's passing by quicker and faster, but I can't help to long for spring. I dream of autumn leaves in those dog days of summer, hotter than new love at the local bar. And I wait for that first snow with anticipation, as wide as the lilies that I think of in March. Caught up in the trance of this repetition, I'm always searching for that next big thing. Life's passing by quicker and faster, but I can't help to long for spring. When will I learn to be where my feet are, present in the moment, neath that sunset sky? The call of a whippoorwill surrounds me this evening. I don't want this moment to pass me by. Caught up in the trance of this repetition, I'm always searching for that next big thing. Life's passing by quicker and faster, but I can't help to long for spring. No, I can't help but to long for spring. Here's another one. I'll add some to the set list here because we're burning through them. But here's one I wrote. I guess you'd call it a love song. It's all intimate and whatnot, you know. Am I good enough for you? I have watched my doubts play through. In the morning, hope springs anew. Am I good enough for you? My flaws, red flags you can't ignore. When I'm drunk and lying on the floor, crying about mistakes I made before. These red flags you can't ignore. I melt with the soft touch of your lips. I am numb in my surroundings, I admit. I can hear the rain, and I can't feel it when you melt my world with your lips. I wanna lay my head upon your chest. Let's reduce the fears that we possess. In the morning we can figure out the rest, while my head is lying on your chest. Now would be a good time to introduce the bass player back here. For those of you who've seen this before, our normal bass players decided he'd go off on vacation today, you know.
Your normal one, he's solid as well.
But on the occasion that kind of thing happens, we always call upon our buddy here from over in the wild county of Webster. That's Mr. Dwayne McCourt. We appreciate him being here this evening. This is G A minor. That was a love song. Here's a song about falling in love with an older woman. Back when the radio... Well, let me start again. That was the wrong words. Ain't perfect. Actually, I lied. I'm just gonna play a different song. How about? Is that okay? I think it's this one I'm gonna do instead is also a love song about it could be an older woman. So I should have never told you. So. It's a measure of people who don't understand the pleasures of life. Hillbilly band. Got my first guitar when I was 13. Now I'm pushing 30 and I'm still wearing jeans. Amanda, light of my life. Fate should have made you a gentleman's wife. Amanda, light of my life. Fate should have made you a gentleman's wife. All right, thank you all. I appreciate it. I'm gonna take a little break myself, and then we'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. Appreciate it. We're gonna keep on rolling. Far across instrumental song here. I think I mentioned before that Earl Scruggs has signed my dad's banjo. This is one that he made famous, him and Lester Flatt. And
Rocky Mountain Boys.
Dad just tears it right up, just like Earl did.
Yeah, believe that, Rita. You believe that, don't you? Oh, mercy.
Thanks. I always like telling people that Dad plays it just as good as Earl because it makes him real nervous. And I like making him nervous. Here's an old Towns Van Zandt song. guitar on, have a little shot of blue, lay a blue and waylon song. Guitar sings a melody, guitar rings the riddles fine, long and lazy, blonde and free. I can have her anytime. All sweetest at the break of day, prettiest in the setting sun. She don't cry when I can't stay, at least not till she's all alone. Riddle, I won't be gone long. Keep your dancing slippers on, keep me on your mind a while. I'll be back to make you smile. Oh, Loretta, she's my barroom girl. Wears them sevens on her sleeve. Dances like a diamond shines. Tells me lies of love to believe. Age is always 22. Laughing eyes of hazel hair. Spends my money like waterfalls. Loves me like I want her to. Loves me like I want her to. Loves me like I want her to. Thank you. I made it this long and haven't gave a shout out to the Rotary Club over here providing the refreshments this evening. They do a lot of good in the community, and appreciate them being here and doing all they do. So thank you all, Rotary Club. Let's wait till the truck passes. There we go.
Yeah. I was born in Guilford County, way back up in the pines. It's where I hold the sweetest memory in the hills of Carolina. Daddy wasn't much of nothing. He spent his life just doing time. Mama learned me about Jesus in the hills of Carolina.
Always thought that we would marry some sweet day. She would be mine. Patty's gone to live with Jesus in the hills of Carolina. If I should die before tomorrow, one request, if you don't mind, just bury me right next to Hattie in the hills of Carolina. Thank you. Well, that was a beautiful love song. It was sad. You know, Hattie went to live with Jesus. You know. Here's one that's a little worse. I'm sorry to say. If you ever listen to bluegrass music, you're callous to that.
This did not have good intentions.
Down in the willow garden, me and my love did meet. It was there we went courting, my true love fell on the waiting for me. I didn't murder that dear little girl whose name was Connie. Thanks. Don't do any of that. We're gonna do an old gospel hymn here to cleanse our palate after that. Dad's gonna kick it off.
Thank you.
To the river Jordan, our Savior went one day. We read that John the Baptist met him there. When John baptized Jesus in Jordan's rushing waters, mighty power of God filled the air. I'm on my way
To the river of Jordan,
gonna wade right
in
in.
the rushing water,
I'm going down,
down
to the river of Jordan. Let the cool waters cleanse my soul. King Naaman was stricken with dreaded leprosy and sent for the word of man to pray. Elijah said to Naaman, go dip yourself in Jordan, let the cool water wash your spots away. I'm on my way
to the river of Jordan,
gonna wade right
in
in,
the rushing
and I'm going down
down
to the river of Jordan. Let the cool waters cleanse my soul. The river Jordan is many miles away. This mighty river I may never see, but I find myself an altar in some old-fashioned church. That would be the river Jordan for me. I'm on my way, gonna wade right
in the
in,
rushing
and I'm going down
down
to the river of Jordan. Let the cool waters cleanse my soul. Let the cool waters cleanse my soul. Thank you. You know, I really shouldn't talk on the subjects of these songs because it just makes me sound like a bad person, but this next one's about adultery. I'm sorry. On a cold, dark night, there was someone killed beneath the town hall light. that he needs. She stands in the crowd, sheds not a tear. Sometimes at night, when the cold winds blow, long black veils, she cries home alone. Walks these hills, long black veils, visits my grave. Night winds wail, nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody knows but me. Walks these hills, long black veils, visits my grave. Night winds wail, nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody knows but me. Nobody knows but me. Thanks. I appreciate y'all being here and listening, and feels good to play songs and people listen, you know. We play a lot some places, you know, and we're just background music. And people screaming at each other is the main track of the evening.
That's weird. They do clap their hands and stuff, that's weird.
Homemade prayer. Easiest song you played all night. Yeah.
Everyone in Nacogdoches knew Tom Ames come to some bad end. Sheriff for calling, stealing chickens and such by the time he was 10. And one day his daddy took a $10 bill and he tucked it in his hand. He said, I can tell you headed for trouble, son, Mama wouldn't understand. So he took out money and his brothers obeyed and left without a word of thanks. Fell in with a crowd in some border town, took to robbing banks. Outside the law, you look run out fast, and a few years came and went, till he's trapped in an alley in Abilene, all before shells spin. And he realized praying was the only thing that he hadn't ever tried. Wasn't sure he knew quite how, but he looked up to the sky. Said, you don't know me nothing as far as I know, Lord, I don't know nothing of you. I ain't asking for a miracle, Lord, just a little bit of love for me. And you know I ain't never prayed before, but it always seemed to me, if praying's the same as begging, Lord, I don't take no charity. Is he on the friend that you're gonna have when you hit the Parker's road? I guess he could've kept on preaching to Chris when he turns back on me. I put a homemade blade to that golden throat, that's the deputy for the key.
sure you already know. I've had some help from you, Lord, the devil himself was strictly touch and go. Yeah, but who in the hell am I talking to? There ain't no one here but me. Then he cocked one of those pistols and spit in the dirt and walked out in the street. Let me at him. All right, thank you, everything. Here's a John Prine song. I know everybody loves John Prine. Here's this one I particularly like a lot because I sing it to my babies when they're crying at night, you know, and trying to get them back to sleep. Sometimes works. I was a child, my family would travel down Western Kentucky where my parents were born. Backwards old town that so often remembered, so many times my memories are worn. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train is hauled away. Sometimes we travel right down that Green River, the abandoned old prison down by Hill. The air smelled like snakes and we shoot with our pistols. Empty pop bottles is all we would kill. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train is hauled away. Then the coal company come with the world's largest shovel. They tortured the timber, stripped all the land. They dug for their coal till the land was forsaken, marked it all down as the progress of man. When I die, let my ashes float down that Green River, my soul roll on up to Rochester Dam. Halfway to heaven, paradise waiting just 5 miles away from wherever I am. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train is hauled away. Mr. Peabody's coal train
good one. We're gonna, for the most part, switch back to bluegrass mode, with one exception. But our times weren't winding up. I got 5 more on the list there. We'll probably run over time a little bit if you don't mind, you know. Roll my sweet baby songs. Ready? Yeah. Oh no, yeah, ready. Arms gonna lay around the shack till the mail train comes back. Roll in my sweet baby's arms. Now mama's a beauty operator. Since she used to weave and spin. Dad's got an interest in that old cotton mill. Watch all that money roll in. Thrown in my sweet baby's arms. Thrown in my sweet baby's arms. Gonna lay around the shack till the mail train comes back. Thrown in my sweet baby's arms. Away from your door. If I had my life to live over again, never show my face anymore. Thrown in my sweet baby's arms. Thrown in my sweet baby's arms. Gonna lay around the shack till the mail train comes back. Thrown in my sweet baby's arms. Shack till the mail train comes back. Thrown in my sweet baby's arms. Thrown in my sweet baby's arms. Thrown in my sweet baby's arms. Gonna lay around the shack till the mail train comes back. Roll in my sweet baby's arms. Gonna lay around the shack till the mail train comes back. Roll in my sweet baby's arms. Thank you. All right. Here's another, bluegrass classic we learned from J.D. Crowe. Yeah, Mike Gregory, you've never heard this one played like this, I'll tell you that.
Where's Mike Gregory?
Straight in the middle.
Oh, there he is. Hey, you got that in the bathroom or something?
You ready? It's been 10 long years
job in the town. Now my girl ran off with somebody else. Tears took all my pain. Now here I stand where your home stood before they took it away. Now the geese fly south and the cold winds blow. As I stand here and hang my head, I lost my love, I lost my home. Now I wish that I was dead. What have we done to the old home place? Why did they tear it down? And why did I leave the plow in the field and look for a job in the town? And why did I leave the plow in the field and look for a job in the town? Thank you. We're gonna do one more instrumental song for you this evening. It's called Salt Creek. Joey and Dad are probably upset with me, but I can't sing them all, you know.
Hands are sweaty. Hands are sweaty. These are neat. Except Mr. Deeds, but all of them are sweaty.
All right, you ready? Me and Joey have been working on together here recently. I think he does a fine job on it. Probably not one you hear regularly from a bluegrass band, or maybe at all, but if you never heard this song, just pretend I wrote it, you know?
off, ran through the dry goods store. Hey, I ran down Division Street. Some of them boys followed me down to the railroad tracks. There's four of them and I can't fight. I got my old Rambo knife. I cut that boy and I never did look back. Yeah, I went down to Taneytown. I went down to Taneytown. I went down to see what I could see. Across the fields and woods I run like a bullet from a rabbit gun, back home to my bed. Elmore coming from Gettysburg, her and that new boy of hers. Boy, you look like hell was all she said. Well, a month went by without a word. Somebody down the holler about that boy at home. He begged those men to spare his life. I dropped my bloody Randall knife, picked it up so they thought it was the one. I went down to Taneytown. I went down to Taneytown. I ain't going back there anymore. Hey, that was fun.
Good job, man. Good job. That was pretty. That was worth coming over here for.
That means a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's kind of a breath of fresh air for us. Break away from the traditional bluegrass stuff. It's nice. You know? Here's a traditional bluegrass song. It's our last one. This one's called Carolina in the Pines. I had a good time this evening. The weather's beautiful. Appreciate y'all listening and being here.
Introduce
It was a
yourself.
great evening. Oh yeah, my name's Aaron Beam. These are the Do-Gooders, and thanks for listening.
Y'all ready?
She came to me, said she knew me, said she known me a long time. And she spoke of being in love, every mountain she'd climb. And she talked of trails she walked up, far above the timberline. From that night on, I knew I'd write songs, Carolina in the pines. There's a new moon on the 14th, first quarter the 21st, and a full moon in the last week brings the fullness to the earth. There's no guesswork in the clockwork of the world's hard old mind. There are nights I only feel right, Carolina in the pines. As the frost grows on the windows and the wood stove smokes and burns, as the fire grows line. There are nights I only feel right. Get lying up in the pine.
Thank y'all. Appreciate you listening.